Well, everybody, we're on week 5. We're over the hump and we're into the home stretch. It's been a pretty difficult week for a lot of you. I think most of you, if not all of you. And I guess I'm going to get rid of that elephant in the room, the part where we're all a little uneasy and a little worried. And we have a lot of stuff going on in our lives. I'm looking for a little normalcy back, and I'm not even sure what normal is anymore. I think that, every day I try and take a walk and try and breathe a little better and try to live life a little better. And I've social distance from everybody. Even my daughter is 10 feet away from me, outside only. Nobody's allowed in my house. So I sit there and I think, oh my gosh, my students are all living this as well. So I want to be very respectful of that. If for some reason you have an issue, something comes up, one of you is sick, somebody in your family is sick, and you need extended time, you need to let me know. I'm just a text or an email away. Also, the school has recognized this and they've added extra time on for your late papers. If you have not got that from the school, please let me know. I'll be more than glad to send it to you. We are all in this boat together, and let's hope this boat can hold us all and we can work with each other and figure it out. I think we all have to take positive moments each day, and I'm trying to do that. Every day I try to do something positive. My positive for my husband is he gave me, can we do a honey-do list every day? And I'm like, oh, that's not the positive I was going for. But that's a positive we're going to do. We're going to take one room a day and do spring cleaning and purge, and then we're going to take a walk. So that's what we've been doing, taking a walk every day with family and friends, all at least 10 to 20 feet apart. And we have some property that we walk on, and it's nobody else is there, and it's kind of nice because I get to see my sisters and I get to see my nieces and nephews. I don't get to see my kids though, and that's kind of hard. So we're all in this together. Let's see what we can do. Let's talk about what we're going to do this week. We're going to do content analysis. And as we're looking at this, I sat there and I thought, boy, we can really put this to day-to-day life going on right now, because content analysis covers how we look at and how we react to different things. And so it's often referred to as textual analysis. And that content analysis allows scholars or specialists being police or criminal justice fields or the DOJ or any of those agencies that study crime, to systematically study and classify the contents of an individual work or body of work. What's a body of work? Well, a body of work can be almost anything. This is done often to determine the presence of certain words or concepts. Content analysis is defined in your book as a research method appropriate for studying human communication. Communication takes many forms, and because of this, content analysis can study many other aspects of behavior. Think of how you communicate with others. How do you communicate? I can tell you, when I taught interview interrogation, I would sit there and I would work with all of my students on what is communication. So if I had somebody that was giving me which I thought was a line of maybe BS, very often I would just give them one of these looks and let silence take over. Typically, if you let silence take over for a little bit of time, what happens is people feel they have to put something in, they have to answer something. So I said part of interview interrogation is being able to read communication, be able to code it. And we're going to talk about coding. So we have coding. Coding's in many fields. It's in medical fields, it's everywhere. So what they do with this on your content analysis, they do coding. And I'm sure you've heard of it. We see coding in every field. So raw data is transformed into a manifest or latent latent content. It is important to know that what these two are. Manifest is the visible surface content, and while latent is the underlying content. So we have to look at these two. Now, there are generally two types of content analysis as well. There's conceptual analysis and relational analysis. Conceptual analysis determines the existence and frequency of concepts in a text. Relational analysis develops the conceptual analysis further by examining the relationship of other concepts in the field. One of the key elements to content analysis is coding those. And to code those, you're able to, once they're coded, they can be studied. The problem with coding, what's the number one problem with coding, is that it can be subjective. So when we look at that, we say, who's the coders? It can be applied in almost anywhere. As I said, it's used in criminology a lot, but it also, one of the things they look at is, some of the things they've looked at is how are people relating to crime. They'll use that. They'll use newspapers to see how people are relating to how, how is the newspaper portraying crime. We see that today kind of in how is the media portraying the coronavirus. How is community police? How are people reacting to community police? So they code it. There's other sources of data for content analysis, which include book chapters, interviews, conversations, speeches, historical documents, blah, 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 blah. They go on forever. So I hope this finds you a little bit easier on it, and I hope if you have any questions, you can call me. But that's for our discussion. And our discussion, after our discussion, we go to, let's go to the next one, our paper, our famous paper. So, which brings me back to the discussion. There's my ADHD for you. The discussion has to be in on Thursday. I can't give you any extended time on the discussion. So make sure you get your discussion in. Your responses are to follow, but your discussion must be in. They're not giving you any leeway on that. Alrighty. So the next thing we're going to be doing is going to be your research design. How do you make your design? And so if you have any questions on that, please let me know. But I am going to be sending you the PowerPoints for all the chapters of all the book in an email. I'm going to ask you to look for your email, and hopefully that will help you. I know some of you have not been able to go to the library, and I know some of you are having a hard time getting to the use of a computer. Let me know what I can do. Wish you all well. Sue Figgy. Thank you.